Hello YouTubers, this is Tim at JL Miniatures. I just wanted to give you guys another update on some of the Mierce mini chaos trolls I'm working on. I just started doing some dry brushing, so I wanted to take and get you involved in that. So without further ado, I'm gonna, as you can tell, these brushes are just beat up and I really quite enjoy them. You can see me, I'm just kind of barely touching the edges. This has got kind of a weird almost a powdery type skin, so they're not like skin wrinkles and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of quite interesting. This is more of a wetter dry brush. I'm going to take some of it off and then kind of go from there. But I'm basically going to just add some color here and there. And of course, like I said, I'm still just kind of dabbing away. I'm not really too particular. I do want to get some of the blues highlighted with blues, but then I'm going to switch right here to a more of a green, and I'm going to start working up into the top. I do like to have those transition colors. I think they're really kind of on the fun side. It makes the miniature look a lot more interesting. Now the yellow that I've added is just a craft it's just a craft paint. I didn't grab one of my other ones that was just a lot closer, so I decided to just use that. With this craft paint, you got to remember that you got to really kind of take it easy on it and not be too aggressive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by that is just like start painting yellow right off the bat. This is really on the really hard to describe, kind of jelly, kind of like, I guess, the consistency. It's not really watered down as you would think it would be. So I'm going to take and just kind of hit the tops a little bit more, hit the back of the legs. Now, like I said, this is really quite bright underneath the light, but then again, I don't think it's going to stay that way. It's just one of those things. Once you get out of the light, or out of the direct light, you can see how much darker it really is. So by having it right up here, it definitely looks like it's crazy in your face, kind of bright. And with chaos and stuff like that, you know, having some bright color once in a while, it's not a bad thing. So I'm gonna work getting some more highlights. I want to kind of almost overdo it in a few spots, and I'm gonna start fading the colors up in to each other. Now you can see me in the background. I'm kind of just, sorry about that, I'm trying to get this thing into focus here. Come on now, focus. There we go. Sorry about that. But I'm going to take and get some other colors in here, kind of just make things pop a little bit more. Now this right here is kind of a light purple that I'm adding in. I'm going to come down into the area of the front of the mouth. Right along the tentacle there to give it a little bit more. You can see how I'm kind of pulling that pink down into the purple. The first color is already dry and everything out, so that's that's already pretty much done. So I'm going to take and kind of just work it, remove some of it with my finger. I really like the way that it looks. It gives it a really nice twist and turn to it. I'm having a hard time with this thing focusing by itself, so. And that's one thing I haven't figured out with this phone yet, is how to get it to where it will autofocus either correct, or if I can just kind of keep it to where I can manually fix it at a certain spot. Now what I did is I took and just wet down my dry brush, and I'm kind of pulling some paint back off just so it has a little bit nicer transition. And then back in here is more of a blue-gray. So I'm going to take and use some of the blue, some of the green, and I'm going to go with more of a, almost a mint. And what that's going to do is it's going to help kind of work more with that lime green that I've got going over on this other side. Because I want kind of more of a, almost like a fungus type look to it. And I want it to be really on the brighter side. So I'm going to take and hit it, dry brush it basically from the top edge, and then just kind of come down. So you can see back there by its leg. I'm going to take and hit the back side of it. Hit the back side of that right there. You see where that looks a lot lighter in there. And basically when I get done, I'm going to take and do some washes to it and stuff like that. So it will darken up quite a bit. With the washes, I use my my number 8 craft brush. I like to paint a lot of stuff with it. I think it works out really well. And you can just sit there and take that blue, kind of work it right into that purple and into the tentacles. Just on the bottom edge is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of feathering it in. I can sit there and just let it be. If I decide I want to get it darker, I can do it darker. I can always add a little bit more purple to it. Hit it in a couple spots where it's got some more bends, just to make it more dramatic looking. Same thing with this one that's going down the side of the body. I can always add more purple, do it on the lighter side, and just kind of wash it in with your paintbrush. It's one thing you want to do is when you're working with that, you want to work on a faster side, because you don't want to have your paint start drying up and giving you water markings or your watermarks on it. So you can sit there and do that to it. Decide you want to add some more, you can do that. That's the best thing about painting. Painting just turns out the way you want it to. You do what you want, how you want, where you want, and it looks fine because you're the one that decided that's where you want it to go. So basically what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to take and I'm going to hit this with some browns because it looks kind of like more like roots and stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that same effect and just keep it going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some browns, and then I'm going to come back through. I'll use some tans, and then we'll go from there. You can see me using my paintbrush just kind of watered down, and that's, I just kind of just wipe that other extra away. So you got your browns down at the very bottom. You're going to have some browns at the front here that are going between the legs. And I just basically hit those nice and easy. I never did look up the how somebody else painted this. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. I found it in my one of my many boxes of miniatures I have not painted. One of my getting around to boxes. And I probably had these for a year or better, maybe 2. So I decided might as well take and start painting and go from there. Now with it up being by the face and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to take some of that, the red, and I'm taking some of that brown. Because I want more, where this more orangey look is, I want to kind of keep it that way. I kind of really like that. Same thing with this. I'm going to darken that one back up. But I want these roots to kind of look like they're coming alive. So I'm going to add some definite color to them. Same thing with that right there. And I'm going to take and use a watered down brush to kind of feather it in place. So that's basically what I'm going to work on right now. You can kind of see how it's already turning out, just with a little bit of heavier dry brush and just feathering colors back in. Now, I'll come back in a little while, work on it some more, and then we'll see where we're at. So again, this is Tim at JL Miniatures. Thank you very much for watching.